Afghan President Hamid Karzai has welcomed U.S. President Barack Obama's call for reconciliation with moderate elements of the Taliban. Karzai says Obama's position mirrors the stand of the Afghan government. He says talks should go forward with those who feel they have no choice but to work with the Taliban. However, Karzai is also warning there are some fighters who are beyond reconciliation, including those who have joined forces with al-Qaeda. Obama has cautioned that the situation in Afghanistan is even more complicated than the challenges that faced the U.S.
bills or
in
make
Iraq.
their mortgage or raise their families.
Forces in Afghanistan can negotiate peace and reconciliation with some elements of the Taliban. That is Barack Obama's hope anyway. He expressed that hope in an interview with the New York Times. He underlined the success in recent years of persuading Iraqi insurgents not to join al-Qaeda in Iraq. The President said the United States had a stiff challenge as Afghanistan is less well governed and it has a fierce history of independence among its tribes. Now, that interview's resonated through the press.
So far, President Obama has made generally sound decisions on Afghanistan.
The British government has made it clear to Washington that it also supports contacts with the Taliban and that moves have already been made by Western officials to talk to lower-ranking Taliban fighters. It is part of a new strategy to try to unblock the stalemate the military commanders believe is undermining the campaign.
Barack Obama's call for moderate Taliban members to be brought in from the cold met with skepticism yesterday after leading Afghan opposition figures who warned that co-opting fighters would fail as long as Hamid Karzai's government appeared weak and corrupt.
President Barack Obama on Sunday admitted that the U.S. military was pushing for talks with the Taliban, but officials consulted on the plans said the military conflict would be raised to new levels of intensity before talks could begin.
Well, our military analyst Eugene Khrushchev joins us now in the studio. Good to see you again. No one better to give us your thoughts about what's happened, because you served there, of course, during your time as a Soviet officer. So is this a good thing, do you think, being proposed by Barack Obama? Try to talk and deal with the moderate elements of the Taliban.
I think it's totally an illusion, in a way that the negotiations with your opponents in anti-guerrilla warfare or counterinsurgency, it has two options. First is on a strategic level, it doesn't make sense. So that's why I believe that it's not up to the commander-in-chief, the president.
But force has been tried, so now they're trying to talk. Isn't it at least some positive way to try and make some move forward here?
That's the second thing, is on a tactical level, so-called peeling off strategy, or otherwise it's ancient Rome's ancient Rome strategy, divide and rule. But I believe that this is only a confirmation of the stalemate or quagmire that the Operation Enduring Freedom have reached in Afghanistan. Tactically, it does make sense, but you don't have to announce it, because the whole idea was that the U.S. will start talking behind the closed door with the Taliban after they have competitive edge or after they have attained any advantage. So now, for me, it looks like a bit inconsistent.
Like a publicity stunt almost.
17,000 troop increase announced. The Taliban is waiting and ready for them, and then such a oblique reference to General Petraeus that he can replicate his Sons of Anbar in Afghanistan. Plus, President Obama admitted that it's much more complex situation in Afghanistan. So tactically, you can use it with this one way or another. Like the Soviet forces, we use it with Ahmad Shah Massoud on a tactical level. But we were adamant against the Mujahideen. Overall, it was not part of our strategy.
Some of the critics saying, of course, that you should never try and negotiate with terrorists anyway. Is that your view as well?
My personal, yes, I do believe so. Problem is, ironically, Taliban has never been blacklisted in the U.S. State Department list of terrorist organization. And during the Mr. Clinton times, it was Bill Clinton who says that, you know, when Taliban came to power, he said that could be an opportunity to for reconciliation, to reconcile between the Afghans and the world community. So for me, it's a round two for a U.S. Democratic administration trying to jumpstart, to repackage Taliban in a PR campaign in a way.
Eugene, we're interested to see what happens over the coming weeks, months and years, to see if any headway is made there. It was a pleasure to have you in the studio. Eugene Khrushchev, our defence analyst, there with us. Thank you.
Thanks.